Hello, it's John Heaton, and this afternoon I'm going to review an ELO album, which I just realised I hadn't reviewed yet, and it's one of their best. So here goes. It's Face the Music, released September 1975, with the classic lineup, the best lineup: Bev Bevan on drums, Jeff Lynne guitar, vocals, Hugh McDowell cello, Mick Kubinski violin, Melvin Gale cello, Kelly Graucut bass, backing vocals, Richard Tandy keyboards. This is the back cover with the red eyes, quite a good effect. Now, I have to admit that I only got into ELO with Out of the Blue, and I only bought that in 1978, so wasn't aware of their earlier stuff to begin with. And then later in 78, after Out of the Blue was such a smash success, they put out this box set, 3 Light Years, which contained On the Third Day, El Dorado, and Face the Music. And get a nice little booklet here with the lyrics and some pictures. And then the actual albums are housed in these quite nice sleeves, these ELO sleeves. On the Third Day, El Dorado, and Face the Music. So that was how I got into these 3 albums, and I remember really getting into all 3 of them, actually, particularly Face the Music, I think, my favourite of the 3, and then On the Third Day would be my second out of those 3, I think. And then much later on I picked up the vinyl copy. This is an Italian pressing, I think, with the inner sleeve, the lyrics, and it's on this label, United Artists. So I picked this up in Hungary, actually, I think. Italian pressing, not too expensive. And then the CD came out a few years ago with some bonus material, which was very interesting, particularly the instrumental version of Waterfall is just beautiful. So, what can we say about the album? Unbelievably, I was reading it didn't chart in the UK, which I found very strange, because Evil Woman was a hit single in the UK, and it was a huge hit single in the US as well. The album got to number 8 in the US, but this 3 Light Years set did get to number 38, including Face the Music, but not until 1978. So I'm pretty well, maybe their breakthrough album-wise came with a New World Record, because I know that did much better. I didn't realise that Face the Music hadn't charted. I was pretty shocked. So yeah, the album starts very strongly with Fire on High leading into Waterfall, and it's probably about the best 10 minutes of their entire career, if you ask me. That it's really hard to top that. I mean, obviously Standing in the Rain, Big Wheels, beginning side 3 of Out of the Blue comes to mind. Tightrope and Telephone Line beginning New World Record comes to mind. But I'd say Far and High with the really fast guitar, acoustic guitar, and then the drums coming in from Bev Bevan, and the strings just builds up tremendously, and then you've got this gorgeous piano ballad from Jeff Lynne, which he's so good at. And this wasn't a single, but it's just pure magic. It's Jeff Lynne at his very best melodically, sings it well. Richard Tandy's playing nice piano, and it's just a tour de force. So what a strong start to the album, and then it continues as if it couldn't get any stronger. It continues with Evil Woman, which is based on a simple piano riff, and Jeff Lynne just wrote it apparently at the end of the sessions to come out with stuff to make the album longer, because it was running a bit short. And it's just turned into this huge monster single, and one of their best known tracks. And I remember Jeff Lynne performing it a few years ago, and Paul McCartney was singing along in the audience, so I think he was a fan of this track and of ELO in general, I think. So tremendous first 3 songs. Then side 1 is slightly let down by Night Rider, which was a third single from the album but failed. just doesn't do much for me. It's a kind of attempt to write a rocker, and it just doesn't have a powerful enough hook for me. Compare this track to, say, I don't know, Night in the City from Out of the Blue, or Rockaria from the next album, or even Do Ya. This song just, no, it's not a winner for me. But then you turn over to side 2 and you get Poker, on which Kelly Graucut sings the lead and backing vocals. So that's interesting. One of the few times where Jeff Lynne allowed Kelly Graucut to sing lead. He obviously does superb backing vocals on all of the most successful albums, but to sing lead is quite rare. And this is a fun track, Poker. I like it. Strange Magic was the second single from the album, I think moderately successful. And this track is nice. It's quite slow. It's maybe been overplayed over the years. I've probably overplayed it myself. But it's got a nice melody, and it's quite atmospheric. And when they did it live, Bev Bevan would step down from the drums and come down the front and sing the baritone vocal bit in this track. So it's a decent track. It's a strong track. Down Hometown is the weakest track on the album. Don't like it at all. Nothing much to say about it, really. Nope, nothing much to say. Don't like it. But God, the album finishes sublimely with One Summer Dream, and just one of Jeff Lynne's masterpieces, from the opening string bit to the acoustic, which is played through some kind of effect machine to get that sound, and then Bev Bevan crashing in on the drums. And the melody, the descending bass line, Jeff Lynne's dad was humming it and complimenting his son on this song, even though he didn't like some of the earlier stuff. So that was quite nice to hear. Gorgeous chord changes, well played by the band, dreamy lyrics. Yeah, warm summer breeze blows endlessly, touching the hearts of those who feel One Summer Dream. And then the extended fade out is great. And then the lady who's singing, backing the female vocal part, I can't remember her name, sorry, but she does a nice job. So this album, it's not in very good nick, is it, this particular copy? I think it's their first great album, although it's got 2 tracks which I don't care for. I think El Dorado was a little bit mixed, same with On the Third Day, although I prefer On the Third Day. I think it's got some great material on it. I think this was more consistent, and they would just go from strength to strength after this, with New World Record and Out of the Blue in particular, just knocking the ball out of the park, not only artistically but commercially as well. So Jeff Lynne, hats off, another fine album, and if you haven't checked this out, then just check it out for the first 2 tracks, Far and High, Waterfall. It really is something to behold. So thanks for watching. See you next time.